Welcome to RCAM. I'm your host, Ryan, and thank you for tuning in today. I hope all of you guys are having a very blessed night. Okay. we got quite a bit to talk about. So we'll be discussing food stamps and EBT and the fallout from the government shutdown. And we might just spend the whole stream talking about that. I'll just be honest with you guys. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. But I do think that's ultimately where we're going to start, and what we're going to be focused on tonight. Um, yeah, I got a lot of thoughts on this. I thought my thumbnail was pretty creative, I gotta say. So for those of you who haven't seen the thumbnail, it's based on the book If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. I don't know how many of you guys have read that story, but it's a staple in my household now. And it's something that I've actually read to my daughter. She has the book. I tried to find the books to show it on stream, but I just couldn't find it. But anyway, the basic overarching principle of the book is, hold on a second. So, all right. So the overall principle of the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, is about this mouse that shows up to this little boy's house, and he gives the mouse a cookie. And when he gives the mouse a cookie, the mouse starts having more and more demands of what it wants. And soon he's giving away basically everything in his house until he gives away essentially his house. It is the general theme of the movie, where basically for the mouse, it's never enough. That's the principle. It's never enough. He is never satisfied. And this young boy is ultimately, living in untenable conditions. That's the premise of the book. And I do think it is appropriate to compare that to if you give, people handouts. It's never enough for them, or if you subsidize every aspect of their life, it's never enough. You start out subsidizing food, and then you're subsidizing housing, and then you're subsidizing, their wild living and all sorts of things in their life. And you don't really become aware of just how crazy the problem is until you have something that disrupts or potentially disrupts that system. So now we are, I believe, in day 28 of the government shutdown. And, there are actual working citizens who have gone 28 days without getting paid. A lot of these people work directly for the government. And I feel for them because they actually work. They work for their paychecks. They work for their check. Not everybody. I'm not saying it's all easy work or hard work, but they do work. But the people that are about to lose their food stamps maybe don't work. They a lot of them don't work. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but many of them don't work. And they expect us to continue to provide them, EBT and WIC and SNAP and all these subsidized programs indefinitely. Like there is no end in sight for it. Like it's just forever. As long as we can keep paying into it, they want to keep getting groceries funded on the taxpayer dime. And I just gotta say, I'm not down with that. Not a fan of that. I don't think that's a good idea. Frankly, I think there's a problem with that. So we are going to discuss this, but before we dive any deeper, I do just want to encourage you guys, if you like this stream, to like, share, repost if you're watching on Rumble. If you're not watching on Rumble, why not? Come on, get on Rumble. Join us over there. The water's fine. It's great. It's a pro free speech platform. They are growing in leaps and bounds, and they are doing something that I don't think any other platform is doing. Well, by the way, I'm able to stream to multiple places all at the same time using Rumble's Studio, which is awesome. So I definitely encourage you guys to check it out if you're into streaming. It's great. It's free too. Okay. So we are, again, as I was saying before, we are in day 28 of the government shutdown, and there are talks of um, these welfare programs getting caught since there's not enough money in the budget to cover them. Yeah, there's not enough money in the budget to cover 40 million citizens that are dependent on citizens that are dependent on these programs, which is that number alone is jarring. The fact that 40 million people are dependent on these programs, that's an eighth, I believe, 1/8 of the population. I believe that's the stats. Don't quote me on that, but that's jarring. That's really wild to me that we have that many people dependent on the government for food. Like, in principle, you should not want to be dependent on the government for food at all, because if they are the hand that is literally, actually, oh wait, the taxpayers are the hand that feeds you. It just filter. They take our money, you see, and then it filters through the government back down to people who don't work to get our money. But you should not want to be dependent on them. Not even just for like dignity's sake. You don't want them to have this power over you. I wouldn't want them to have that power over me, knowing that I'm dependent on them for my rations. Get out of here with that noise. I definitely don't want that. I would like to be able to provide for myself and to provide for my own household, not have big brother stepping in to take over things for me. And two, if you're a man, all right, listen, all right, hold on. Before I get into this whole spiel, um, I have nothing against hardworking Americans who have fallen on hard times that are using the government, the social services as a safety net to get back on their feet. That's fine. I have no issue with that. That's great. That's what it's there for. I ultimately would prefer it not be there. Honestly, I would prefer the church to rise up and meet those needs, and we'll get into this a little bit more as the conversation continues. But I would prefer, if we're going to have these social services, which we do, that they're only a means to an end, and that they have an expiration, that they don't last forever. Okay, that you can only be on them for X amount of time. I would say, a fair amount of time to be on these government programs is 90 days. That would leave you enough time to more than enough time, I think, to get a job. So let's get into some of the stories surrounding this, because this is crazy, y'all. I mean, this is nuts. If anybody's in the chat, hey KMD, I believe in having universal based income based on age, starting at age 13 years of age. Teens receive a little bit of money for us when they become adults. Once 18, the money stops and they must get a job. I don't believe that at all. I don't support that, dude. So I believe in letting 13-year-olds get jobs. That's what I believe in. I've had this conversation before about these child safety laws preventing 13-year-olds from working. I actually think that some of them are ridiculous. Like, it made sense during the Industrial Revolution when you had kids working in coal mines and factories and they were losing limbs and losing fingers. I think a 13-year-old, though, can like flip burgers at McDonald's or work at a pet store or work serving ice cream, sorting mail, doing very low effort jobs. I think those should be available for 13-year-olds. I do not think we should be giving anybody really free money, or quote unquote free money, because a universal basic income means that they're going to tax the hell out of working individuals to subsidize and cover that universal basic income. And do you want to know what's going to happen when the universal basic income happens? When landlords know that each household is going to have a guaranteed set amount of money coming in every month, no matter what, the rent is going to go up and things are going to get more expensive. Groceries are going to get more expensive. Subsidies always seem to do the opposite of what they try to do or what they aim to do. They end up increasing the cost because, and I've had this conversation about college, right? So college is great, um, but the price of college is insane. And why is the price of college insane? Well, let's think for a second, okay? Let's put on our thinking caps, okay? If I'm a college and I'm in the business of getting more students and making money, because they're about making money. They're businesses at the end of the day. They're not there at a charity. And the government comes along and says, we are going to give out student loans, no strings attached. Basically, anybody who applies can get them, to young college age students who aren't smart enough to really think through what they're signing and are going to sign off anyway because there's all this pressure to go to college. What are the colleges going to do when they know they have a guaranteed payment? What do you think they're going to do? Oh, you mean the government's going to give them as much money as they need, even if it's, six figures for them to attend the university? Oh, yeah, we'll raise the cost. We'll raise the cost of our tuition so that we get more money. And I think that's a bad idea, as we are seeing with the student loan crisis. And this it makes sense that this translates into food stamps. If we're giving out people thousands of dollars in food stamps, well, that incentivizes grocery stores to raise the money, raise the cost of everything, so people spend more of their subsidized money in their grocery stores. They get all of it, and there's a demand too for these people to spend it, or they spend the total amount each month. And I think it makes things more expensive, and I expect universal basic income would play out no differently. I think it would play out exactly the same way. And it would just ultimately raise the cost of everything. It also, too, this is something that people don't talk about. It robs the youth, young people, of the dignity of work, and it robs them of essential life skills that they need to navigate this world. One of the reasons that I believe I have really good work ethic is because I started working the moment I could work. Actually, technically, before I was legally able to work, I was washing dishes at a restaurant, getting paid off the books. I did that at like 14 years old, and that was a really good experience for me. And then when I was able to apply for my working papers, I believe I was 15, I got a job at this farm, home, and garden store. And I worked there actually most of my young adult life. I worked at this farm, home, garden store and developed skills. I learned to, show up to work every day, work hard, freaking sweep a store and do basic low effort labor. Some of it was increased effort, but this is important on developing skills of young people. You take that away from them, what are they going to do? How else are they going to learn? I'm not saying they can't, but I'm saying it's highly unlikely that they're going to learn what they need to learn to be successful in the workplace later on if they're just getting money handed on them. They're also not going to understand the value of money or hard work because they didn't earn anything. You can't just give people money. And KMD, this isn't a dig at you or anything like that. I'm just trying to explain to you. Honestly, Like you're a young person, man. So I'm just trying to explain to you the way some of this stuff works. I don't know if I don't know, what you know or you don't know. Um, but these are things that are really important, core things that I think will shape the type of person that you are. And if you're just getting money handed to you, you're not going to learn the value of it because you didn't actually have to work for it. It was a real wake up call. Taxes were a real wake up call for me real early on. You want to know why? Because I started paying them real early on. I'm like, what the hell is this? They're taking all this money from me. You learn real quick, like, oh yeah, the government is greedy. They're greedy little pigs, and they're taking my money that I worked for. They're taking my money that I work for before I even get it. Like, what kind of crap is that? So that pisses me off a lot. All right, give me 1 second. I gotta go get the wifey. 1 minute. All right, I'm back. I'm aware of taxes. I've already pre-calculated most income postings. I'm subtracted 30%. I'm not receiving any more. I'm I'm just any money. No, I know you're not receiving money. I just think universal basic income is a an idea that's ultimately untenable. Because too, it's like it has to be paid in. People they have to get that money from somewhere. It doesn't just come out of thin air. So, like people don't like to answer that question, but it's a really good. Where's the money coming from? The rich? We're going to take it all from the rich? So I just don't think it works. As for working in general, frankly, I'm sticking with truck driving for now. At least it pays good. I might even move overseas. I hear the UK is looking for truck drivers. I think that's great, man, and you should work. And I think that it'll be fulfilling. It's hard work. I think I'll probably get a little bit easier as AI advances. All you'll be doing is like unloading trucks. But I do think, yeah, I do think there's opportunity there, and yeah, I think you should definitely pursue that. It'll give you a sense of satisfaction. I myself have helped unload many trucks in my day, so I definitely understand not driving them but unloading them. But yeah, do it, man. It's an opportunity to earn an income, and there's a satisfaction too. Like when you don't work, when you have everything handed to you, it's detrimental to the human spirit. All right. We were made to work. We were made to create stuff with our hands and build stuff with our hands. That's what, especially as men, that's what we were made to do. So if you take that away from us, you are robbing us of one of the things that actually gives us a sense of dignity, actually gives us a sense of self-worth. And I think that is not good. I mean, that is not good for men. So I definitely think that could be bad. No bueno. All right, let's get into some of these stories real quick. So this first story, well, I'll read this first post and then we'll talk about it. All right. 43 million Americans are on food stamps, SNAP. This is just the tip of the iceberg. 80% of SNAP participants are on Medicaid. 61% of SNAP participants receive benefits from two or more additional safety net programs. And 53.5 of immigrants are on at least one welfare program. That is insane. 43 million Americans are on food stamps. 43 million. That's what, like trillions of dollars a year on just providing public assistance, and to some people who aren't even native to this country. And I think that is crazy town. I think it is absolutely insane that we allow this to happen. In a sane and civilized world, we wouldn't. And then a lot of times it's basically no strings attached. Or very little strings. And here's another thing, I was talking a little bit about how these subsidies make everything more expensive. Matt Walsh, contribute to this thought process. So the number one thing that artificially inflates the price of groceries is the food stamp program. The federal government is subsidizing groceries for 40 million people, which obviously drives up the cost. That's why the increase in cost of groceries tracks exactly with the increase in the number of people on food stamps. So as a functional contributing working American, you're getting scammed twice. Once when the government steals your paycheck and gives it to EBT recipients, and again when you go to the grocery store, you're paying twice so that morbidly obese people can buy Doritos on your dime. It's infuriating. Yeah. Yeah, it is. All right, wifey is here.
I miss you.
We're talking about
I heard morbidly obese.
the EBT program.
EBT.
Yeah.
I feel like it has its place, but people severely abuse it, and it's to a point where
it's not sustainable.
It's not. I literally took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah. So 43 million Americans are on food stamps.
Okay, like that should not be a thing. Okay. Really?
Yeah, you're not telling me that this many people are on food stamps
and they can't work.
And that they can't work, or they're going to go hungry. You're telling me if the government stops providing food stamps that 43 million people are going to go hungry. Don't you see that as a problem?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if that many people are dependent on it. Mm-hmm. Like if that's the case, if they are actually dependent on it and they need it, that's a crisis. That's actually a crisis. You're telling me 43 million people will starve to death if we're not funding it? I don't like that. That makes me really uncomfortable. Makes me almost seems to me, and I don't want to get conspiratorial, but that almost seems to me like a plan to breed dependence on the system.
Go there, baby. Go there.
Yeah, well, it does.
It's true. It's true. I think that's true. I'll be honest with you. Certain programs are very helpful, like SNAP programs, right?
Yeah.
SNAP programs are very helpful. HEAP programs are very helpful, like to heat your house. That's not EBT, but there are times where things are so expensive and people cannot afford to work and pay for everything, where these programs should be in assistance, in addition, you know what I mean? In addition to not being the sole provider. Because there's I know both of us have sympathy for the single parent that has two kids or one child, whatever, and can't afford daycare and to work and to feed them and their light bill and the grocery, like everything. Like it all does add up, but it is so abused. Like, that's not the case, you know?
Yeah, I think
And
if
we've seen that.
yeah, we have seen that. I think if you're going to have a program, it it should be available obviously it should be for like let's say like me and my wife fell on hard times.
Mhm.
It should be available for us to use to get us on our feet.
Right.
All right, it shouldn't be something that's used indefinitely.
Mhm.
And I personally, I don't think if you are unwilling to work that you should be eligible for the program.
Yeah.
Be,
Not disabled.
yeah, not
Not
disabled.
disabled. And I'll even throw in not a veteran. If you're a veteran, I think you've risked your life for our country. And if you're a veteran and you're older, you should be a little catered to.
Yeah, but I think we should like take care of our veterans anyway.
Absolutely.
So, but I would say like, yeah, if you are unwilling to work, this is my radical claim, okay? If you are unwilling to work, you should not eat. You actually deserve to go hungry if you are not willing to work. This is what I'm not saying. Everybody will hear, everybody thinks I'm saying something that I'm not, all right? I'm not saying that if you are unable to work,
Mhm.
then you shouldn't get assistance. Obviously, if you lack the ability to work, like some sort of disability,
Mhm.
then yes, this would be you could benefit from these programs. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But there are people who I know for a fact are capable of working and are using these programs. Not only are they capable of working, but oftentimes they are working off the books. They're taking the subsidies from these
The
programs,
double dip.
and then they're also getting housing subsidies
Mhm.
and Medicaid and
Mhm.
all these other services that they're
Mhm.
taking advantage of and draining the system while I slave every single day paying into a system that I don't get any benefits from. It doesn't benefit me.
Yeah.
How's that fair? And then I go to the grocery store. I see these people with their EBT cards checking out while my wife and I have this exorbitant grocery bill. Why is it exorbitant? Well, maybe because we're subsidizing 43 million Americans that aren't willing to work.
Mm.
That frustrates me. That makes me angry. That rubs me the wrong way, and it should rub anybody the wrong way.
Yeah.
Again, if you are willing to work, if you are somebody that's putting your best foot forward and you've just fallen on hard times, use the program. All right. That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
But if you're not willing to work, then you do not deserve to eat. If you think that sounds callous, if you think that sounds cruel, well, read the Bible because that's exactly what Paul says.
Mm.
Paul literally says, if you don't work, you don't eat. That's the Bible. That's scripture. That's what God says. And God, by the way, and this is an indictment not on hardworking people,
Mhm.
on lazy people.
Mm.
All right? Laziness, by the way, sloth, that's a sin. You're not supposed to be doing that. And then people will be like, well, what about the parents who are unwilling to work and their children?
What do you mean?
So they'll say, well, this mentality is harming children because children shouldn't have to suffer because their parents are unwilling to work. So we should subsidize these programs. No, actually, you shouldn't. Those parents should go to jail for neglecting their children and not doing what it takes to provide for their children. And if they are unable to provide for their children, then they should lose their children. If you're not willing to provide basic needs for you're not willing to work and provide basic needs for your child, you don't deserve to have children.
Keyword once again, willing.
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 This means you are able, but you are choosing not to do it.
Yeah.
And I've seen it happen. I've
So
seen it happen over and over again. I ran a supported housing program for 3 years. I have seen with my own 2 eyes fraud and waste and abuse happening on a scale that you probably couldn't imagine. That like the most flagrant abuses of our system. I've seen drug addicts who are getting subsidized housing and Social Security on the corner begging for money so that they can go buy drugs. I've seen a woman getting the COVID pay, getting public assistance, getting subsidized housing while selling drugs out of her house, and then not paying rent. I've seen that happen too. I've seen crazy stuff happen because people are abusing these systems. It needs serious reform.
Mm.
And I would say a quarter of the people on it probably need to be on it. Most people probably don't. They are dependent on it, and now because they are dependent on it, they are like the mouse that we gave the cookie to. They want more and more and more and more, and they are draining the system, and they are running your average American ragged, and it's insane, and it has to stop. It makes me mad.
It is frustrating because like there's so many of us hardworking Americans out there, and we strive for the American dream. And we grew up thinking like, oh, if we make this certain amount of money, we can buy our house and we can eventually get out of debt in a few years and enjoy things with our kids. And it's not like that. You know, we did our salaries and we were like, wow, our salaries in reality are like 40% less of what it actually could have been years ago, right?
Yeah.
I said that correctly?
Yeah.
Right? And it's hard. Like our generation is really struggling. And this is one of the biggest reasons why, because we're supporting people who abuse the programs.
Yeah, and not just people that abuse the programs, illegal aliens.
Oh, that makes me mad because I think about how much it costs to have a baby and or just to go to the hospital, and they won't get charged anything to my understanding. But we'll get charged. And if we don't pay them, the government will find us, right? And on top of that, they will make sure we pay it because they'll hit our credit report.
Yeah.
And our legal friends do not have credit here, so it's nothing to them.
Yeah, no skin off their back.
It's no skin off their back. But for us who want to maintain good credit and be a good citizen and pay our bills and have the American dream, it's so much harder for us, and we're the ones getting penalized.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you have people like this. I'm going to play this video for you. It's probably going to be a little loud, hon, so just bear with it. Maybe hold it away from your ear. All right.
My sensitive ears.
If there's any issues with the volume, please let me know, but I think we should be good.
Hi, you guys. I'm out of the store. So, they wanted $7 for this. Mind you, I don't have food stamps anymore. They cut me off. So, I only had $22 left in food stamps. So, this is what I stole. Okay. They wanted $9 for this. I said, I don't got $9. Then they wanted $2 for this. They wanted, sorry, it's all fucked up because it's been in my purse. $7 for this. I'm making some stuffed salmon today. These are needed. I'm not paying $7 for that. Okay. Let me show you the most important thing to me. Short ribs. Take off the label so that you don't beep. Get your fucking meat. How many do you think that I got? How many short ribs is that?
Okay, first of all,
I hope this is a skit, man. I really hope that's a skit and she's not really flagrantly bragging about stealing because they're going to cut her off of food stamps.
Can we just talk about how idiotic it is to post the fact that you broke the law for all of America to see? Now, I understand people just go into jail and then they get out nowadays, like nothing, but it's disgusting. It's really disgusting.
You know what? I believe if that's really like a video of her reporting a crime, I think she's just going to get away with it. I actually don't think there's going to be any consequences. I think the worst that'll happen is they'll be like,
a slap on her wrist.
Don't do that anymore. Here's your misdemeanor. And then they'll let her out, and then she'll do it again, and she'll get away with it.
Yeah.
But just to show you how fragile our system is, and maybe this is by design, I'm going to show you a couple videos of, and oh, by the way, this is a conversation. We'll have this conversation after, but about you not going to grocery stores without a male presence with you because of crap like this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Y'all was clutching y'all purses before. This is gonna be the time that you need to clutch them. Y'all was doing all that shit at the wrong time. But this is y'all time to show up. Show up then. I ain't gonna be mad at you.
Wait, what?
We robbing white people. So they're basically saying you clutch your purse, hold it tight because they're gonna be out there robbing people. And this one is really freaking dark. Hold on a second. All right, here's another one. We're just gonna play a few of these.
I see y'all won't come under my post being bold. Y'all feeling bold? Put your address in the comments.
Oh wait, maybe.
Put your address in the comments since you're feeling bold behind the keyboard.
No, this isn't it. I thought this was a different one. Hold on a second. We'll play this one. No, not this one. Here we go. This one was like truly unhinged.
I just wanted to come real fast just to make this video, just to make something very, very clear to the white man. Black Americans do not care about your government shutdown, and Black Americans do not care about you taking away our EBT and our government assistance, because Black Americans never depended on the American government to take care of us and feed us, because we never could. We were never able to depend on the government, in spite of what you may say and what you may try to force us to believe. So you can sit back and you can mock, you can laugh, and you can think that you're about to starve us to death. But I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you. The delectable crackers and cheese. We will make it happen if we have to. Trust and believe me. And if it takes this government shutdown for Black people to finally come from under the government and understand that we don't need to be paying our taxes into this government, what we really need to be doing is taking care of one another, buying land and growing our own food and building our own nation. If this government shutdown and starvation is what it's going to take, then let the party begin. It's Black power, baby, and we rise.
Okay, so first of all,
These people
she has
are
the nerve,
insane.
She has the nerve to say that she doesn't depend on the government, but taking away the EBT is not depending on the government.
They're solely dependent on the government.
Dependent on the government. And that was filled with a lot of hatred. Really gross. Really, really gross.
Yeah. Cross says, cool, here's your 5%, pay for your own food. Yeah, pay for your own damn food.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to pay for your food.
Yeah.
And then if you're not going to get the food, then you're threatening to steal it, rob white people, and
eat
us.
Cannibalism. That's satanic. That's honestly satanic.
What?
It's gross.
Which is why, by the way, like if the food stamps does get cut, yeah, you're not going to the grocery store.
I'm
like
fine with
without me or your dad, period. Because I just, nah.
I'll stay strapped.
Nah, yeah, stay strapped.
Yeah,
let them freaking try, man. Freaking crazy. It's
That's
crazy.
nuts.
All right, here's one more. This woman's making a good point.
You want to know why I'm not having an aneurysm over people losing their food stamps on November 1st? Here's why.
Come good, God.
Because it did go by faster.
One of you. This what I pick, and this what he pick.
My wife is cringing inside
Oh,
right
God,
now.
yeah.
She's like, red dye. No.
Honestly.
I tell you what, how about this instead? If you're on food stamps, you get a pre-selected box of meat, bread, rice, food staples, and fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
No more handing you a debit card filled with other people's cash for you to go load up on Oreos. The goal here is to keep you from starving, because taxpayers do not need to bankroll your junk food pantry or your health problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's right. Oh, she's right.
Yeah, and then when they're eating all this garbage, then we also have to subsidize their health care. Freaking insane. It's insanity. It's blowing my mind how broken the system is. And it just, like, I'm not one that's like, we need to tear it down. We need to tear it down. We need to tear it all down because it's broken. It's not working. We have to tear it down and build up something that actually works. Because it's not working. Because you have 43 million people dependent on the government for food, threatening to that if they don't get their food, if we don't continue to pay for their meal ticket, that they'll attack us, the very people that they've been depending on for their food.
You know what's interesting too? Like, you have these people who are black that are saying that they're going to attack white people, but there's so many black people who are also hardworking and paying into it so they could have food. So are you just going to attack the white people and not the black people who are hardworking? Majority of in the one of the places I work, a lot of them are black.
Yeah.
So you want to attack them? They're good, hardworking people who love their families and support their families by working every day.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like this is just another way for them to race bait.
Yeah.
Too.
And start a race war, which is nonsense.
It's so stupid.
Supplemental food support, not supply your total food budget. Yeah. Yeah. And you want to know, here's another conspiracy I actually think. I think these social services started ultimately to subvert the church. I believe the church should be the primary place people go to.
Yes.
For
help.
Help.
Just help.
Yeah. Yeah,
Help.
If they need help paying for their groceries, they can go to the church.
Yeah.
If they need help with their utilities, they can go for the church. If they need housing, they go to the church. But instead, now we've created entire generations of people that are dependent on Big Brother to meet all of their needs. And there's no longer, the church is essentially cut out. But the church is actually the most equipped to deal with this exact problem because churches typically have a thumb on the needs of their community.
Yeah.
They know their community. There's also a layer of accountability that comes with being a part of a local church that you don't get with your local food stamps office.
Yeah.
They know you. You're part of a neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting food from your local church, and then or money or financial support, and then they see you down at the local gas station hustling drugs, well, your supply will be cut off, or you'll be called to account for that if you're abusing their generosity. That's important. instead of giving people a blank card to buy, you know, all these awful groceries that have no nutritional value.
Ugh. And then are actually making them sicker.
Yeah.
And even causing some of the aggression or added aggression, you know, causing a lot of mental illness, these foods, because they're filled with not just dyes, but so many different types of chemicals that they hit your brain and they kind of alter it, you know? You have comments up there?
Yeah.
Comment up
We
there.
got God bless you guys. Glad to see everything as well.
God bless you.
Thank you,
Fervent
man.
prayer.
And God bless you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate your fervent prayers.
Yeah.
Cross says Walmart's own employees aren't paid enough or choose to work part-time because if they work more, they lose those benefits. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. Yeah, there's a lot of people that will choose not to work more because they know, like, oh, if I work any more than this, I'm not going to get my benefits anymore. Yeah, I mean, you and giving these incentives out basically encourage that type of mentality.
Yeah. Marquis writes, it's nutritional assistance. Maybe just only let them get whole foods. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Like the whole idea of it being an assistant and not a primary what's the word I'm looking for? Not function, but I guess the primary basis, you know, of how you get your food. You know, like go to work. If you don't have enough for groceries, fine. You know what? We'll supply chickens and like with this woman we just saw, we'll supply chicken breasts and cucumbers and tomatoes and, you know, all this good stuff. So that way you can actually make a healthy meal and bring nutrition to your brain. You know, bring nutrition to your body. As opposed to filling it with all these toxic chemicals.
Yeah.
All these guys crying because they can't buy candy. Exactly. That's exactly what she was saying. We don't want to fund Oreos.
You want to know why?
You know?
You want to know why I'm not having an
Yeah, we don't want to fund Oreos. We don't want to fund any of this nonsense.
And it's highly, you know, it's crazy because it's highly addictive too. Like it's, I don't know where the study came from, so I don't want to say, well, it's true, but I believe it to be true that sugar and these chemicals are 10 times more addictive than drugs. Your brain taps for it all the time. All the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that is true, but
I don't know if it's true, but I heard sugar is more.
I really like sugar, so
everybody likes sugar.
I could partially believe it.
Gotta find a statistic for it.
We got this from Lauren Chen. Is there no attempt to get people off of food stamps anymore? EBT is now just accepted as chronic lifelong condition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, there isn't any attempt. Like we just accepted. Oh, this is like baked in the. Actually, it doesn't have to be. Like we could actually restore human dignity by saying like, oh yeah, you know you're eligible for SNAP or you know EBT for 90 days. This will give you enough time to find a job, figure out your childcare situation, etc. And then you got to work like the rest of us.
Yeah.
It really should be that simple. Like you only get the lifeline for a little bit, use it to get on your feet, and then you know keep it moving, and then maybe at most you can extend another 90 days if you're like, you know, you have certain circumstances that are extenuating and you can prove that you've put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
Because that's what I would want to see. Like I would want to see like somebody actively trying. But one of the things too that they had the work requirements for people receiving food stamps, but all they had to do was prove that they were applying to jobs.
Yeah.
So what people would do is they would apply to a bunch of places and then like just not answer any of the phone calls that came in. And say, well, no, I applied to like 30 places today. Yeah, I can do that by clicking easy apply on LinkedIn. All right, it takes 2 seconds. So that's not enough. It's Farrah, by the way. I was scrolling and surprised to see you on here, Ryan. Hey, Farrah.
Hi.
Hey, good to see you, man. Good to see you, dude. Yeah. Well, glad you could tune in, man.
Send our love to your family.
Yeah, definitely. Miss you guys.
But yeah, there was something else I wanted to say. You said, oh, it's also really sad to see people not taking pride in earning their food. Earning. Like it the idea of it just being given, it takes that sense of purpose and survival out. And it's really upsetting. Like I remember when I was 16 or 17, I got my first job and I got my first paycheck as a teenager, learning like, wow, I can provide for myself. I don't need my mom and dad to get me a new phone or pay my car insurance, or if I want to buy new jeans, I don't need to ask them, I can do it myself. There's no pride in that.
No.
And it's sad.
It's
really
sad. I was talking about that earlier. I was saying that it's essential for human dignity to be able to work and create something with your own hand and do something with your own hands. There's a sense of satisfaction that comes with that. Like KMD brought up this idea of universal basic income. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like the government giving you like $1,000 a month.
No.
And he was suggesting it for 13 to 18-year-old people. I'm like,
no.
Well, no, like what I would advocate
Everyone
for
would be a janitor.
is
no one would do anything hard.
Is allowing 13-year-olds to work. One thing I actually advocate for, and maybe this might sound controversial, is letting younger people work earlier, not allowing them to work at 15. Now, back in the day when they had,
it depends on the position.
Yeah, it depends. But back in the day when they had these labor laws put into effect, it was because kids were working in factories and coal mines. They were losing limbs. It was really dangerous. So it made sense. And they were working long, grueling hours. Well, that's not the case in 2025.
No.
Like kids are perfectly capable of flipping burgers, serving ice cream, and sweeping a warehouse floor or something like that. Yeah, bagging groceries. 13-year-olds are capable of doing that. Let them work.
Honestly, 10-year-olds.
Yeah, a 10-year-old could do that.
But honestly, I don't think now in society, I wouldn't leave a 10-year-old by themselves.
Yeah, I mean,
me personally, I'm helicopter mommy.
Yeah,
we'll get with it.
But they could do it. Is the thing. They're capable, and if like a 13-year-old wants to work,
you should
let them work.
It's good for them.
It's good for it teaches them responsibility. It teaches them to become a man. Part of my work ethic came from me working at 15 years old. Actually, I started at 14 years old. But yeah, I worked the same job for most of my life. And I learned a lot of essential skills like communication and being on time and
how to deal with people,
customer service and all these things that help me managing money, taxes. I learned a lot about taxes. I learned all these things because I was working at a young age. It's very important.
Yeah.
Res Truth Pod. Hello, friends. How are y'all? We're doing good, man. How are you doing?
Hope you're doing well. Mary Kay. I'm sorry. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know if it's Mary Kay or Mara Kay, but when they're busy, they're happy. Yes, that's so true. Like we were talking about this today. Think about farm kids. My boss, he was a farmer's son. Okay. So I remember he said to me that he would get up at 5:00 in the morning before school. I'm assuming like 11 or 12. And they would do farm chores and then jump in the shower and then run to the bus and go to school. And you know what? He was grateful to do it.
Yeah.
It kept him busy. And honestly, he is one of the most successful people. He's actually the owner of where I work, but he's one of the most successful people I've met. Ambitious, has been in very prestigious positions in his life. This is just like fun for him and his wife. They are very blessed. financially. And it's all rooted not just because of the favor of God on his life and good decision making, but because of hard work. And it started at a young age.
Yeah, it's important. Rose Truth Pod said, I know a certain someone who abused SNAP and unemployment to start a company.
Ugh.
I'm blessed as always, my friend. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people did that. I know a lot of people that took advantage of the COVID unemployment too, especially. Yeah. That got abused in ways that you couldn't imagine. And there were people too that were also fraudulently collecting the unemployment money. Like billions of dollars were fraudulent for people making these claims. I remember during the pandemic, someone filed an unemployment claim in my name.
What? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you're like, I'm not collecting.
Yeah, I was pissed.
I remember that.
Yeah. So it happens all the time.
As a farmer, I can relate. I wake up an hour, right? Your mouse is there. Or so early before I go to work and take care of my animals, then come home to do more farm stuff. Haha. Yeah. By the way, how them goats doing?
Oh, she didn't forget, bro.
I didn't forget about them goats. I want a farm. I want a farm so bad. That's another discussion.
Yeah, you know, another thing too, when we're talking about like work and the way work is, I actually think the entire work structure is not actually how it ought to be. Yeah. Even for men, all right? This idea that a man leaves his family for 40 hours every week to go work for somebody else is not, I think, not ideal. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. It's just not the ideal. Mm-hmm. I think the ideal situation are families doing stuff together. Yeah. Because kids are now deprived of that fatherly influence during the day, which they need. And if they were, let's say, running a farm together, well, they're with their dad all day on the farm. Mm-hmm. The family is together all day. Yeah. Maybe they're doing their own respective responsibilities, but they're all there working for one collective goal to provide for their family. They're not serving another man's vision or another man's dream or a nameless company that doesn't care about you and won't care if you're dead. I remember reading actually it was a bank. This person ended up dying in her cubicle at the bank, and like no one even knew for a couple days that she was dead in her cubicle.
Wouldn't it stink though?
It didn't initially, or at least it was like a day or two. Got a baby goat getting ready to give birth any second day now. Not an actual baby. She's just treated like a baby. That's awesome. I'm
sure. Feel free to send pictures to
RCAM_media.
Yeah, feel free. And not of the birth, obviously. I know what that's like. I don't need to see that. I want to see the baby. Little baby. Nothing will teach you patience like having a farm. Children help with that too. Because farming, you have to get up, whether you are sick, whether you are unhappy, whether you are angry, whether you're having a great day and just want to do whatever you want to do. And kids do the same thing too. But I will give you this, you can take your kids on vacation. Does it feel like a vacation sometimes? No, you're just parenting in another state. But you can build memories with them. A farm, you do have to trust someone else to take care of that. So you got me there. But yes, patience for sure. I understand.
All right, let's get back to some of these posts. So this is from John Lefevre. This is insane. Poor people can use Snap/EBT to DoorDash from 7-Eleven. What a lazy, gross, offensive way to waste our money. What? That is kind of crazy. And DoorDash is like
7-Eleven? That's not grocery. I'm sorry.
What? Sam, they need their slushie. They need their giant
They need their
slushie.
Blue dye.
Their blue dye. Their red 40 slushie, okay?
No. Come on. No, I cannot. No.
Don't hate.
They need. You know what makes me mad though? Hold on. Look, can they see the screen? Show the screen. All right, look at this. I can't use my finger to. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Okay, anyways, put your mouse on it. What's shown? A carrot. All right, you got a carrot. You have an avocado, you have a tomato, you've got eggs, you've got lettuce or cabbage, bananas, salmon. Those all look like whole foods. Do you think any of those foods are sold at 7-Eleven? No, they're not. They're not. That I'm okay with. 7-Eleven and your blue dye slushy? No, I'm not. Sorry, that makes me mad.
I take my goats on vacation. JK, JK.
If only.
So there's a couple guys here that spit truth. So I want to play. I think this is one of them. One of the ones.
Another bad one. He looks like a nice guy.
No, I think he's a nice guy. We'll see. We'll find out.
I say you can always tell in the eyes of people.
I don't want to sound like I'm overthinking it because I know a lot of y'all can't keep up, but this SNAP benefit situation clearly shows y'all could not survive a world built off natural selection. If the government really stood back, if they just let everything go and let the world be who they want to be without them, y'all would not survive. Let's say they just only protected us from invasion of other countries, but you have to do everything else yourself.
Which I actually think is the job of the government. I think the job is to protect the sovereignty of our nation and to uphold justice and to punish evil. That is the job of the government. Nowhere in the Bible does it say to be the welfare system for the entire country. Like, that is not actually a job of the government.
Y'all would not survive the natural selection. You couldn't get your own food. You couldn't keep your own crib. You couldn't educate your own kids. Y'all would literally not survive a world of natural selection. Y'all response to the SNAP benefits is don't celebrate the holiday. Keep your money. Everyone's going to be affected because food prices going to go up. Yeah, but this is natural selection. This is how the world moves. Without the government, right? What y'all gonna do when all those wolves start attacking the sheep? You either gonna turn into a wolf yourself, you gonna follow behind them like a fox, or you gonna be slaughtered. That's how natural selection works. And this one issue with just benefits is showing y'all that y'all are biting the hand that feeds you. A lot of y'all are against the government. You constantly protesting. You constantly talking about them. But then you turn to this same internet where you're bashing them and you're trying to hold them accountable to continue to feed you and put food on your table. They don't have to do that. This is them showing you we don't have to do a lot of the things we do. But they understand the benefits of who they are. And a lot of people take it for granted. You can't be biting the hand that feeds you and then turn around and talking shit about the person who that hand belongs to. It don't make any sense. Y'all have to pick a new battle. Pick a new fight.
You know what he sounds like? A working man.
Yeah. You want to know something that's kind of jarring to me? Not only like the people that are raging out and threatening, to harm and steal from us, but the level of entitlement. That's what bothers me more than anything. That they feel entitled to our money. It's insane to me. Like, no, you're not. And the lack of gratitude. Like, have we seen a video saying, you know what, taxpayers? I'm really grateful for all the help that you've been able to provide me. Thank you for helping feed me and my family. Like, a little bit of gratitude. I might actually change my mind if I saw one person express a little bit of gratitude toward the taxpayer who has been funding and feeding their families. Have you ever seen somebody actually express genuine gratitude?
No.
I haven't. One TikTok video showing a little bit of gratitude. But no, you get nothing but entitlement and contempt and threats over the prospects that they may lose access to their benefits.
The only time I remember when we were back home, we were with a ministry. Do you remember we gave groceries to a couple of families.
Yeah.
That was the only time I remember people were so grateful.
Grateful,
They
yeah.
were so grateful just to have groceries.
Yeah, and it's different too because, and this is why I think the church is a solution here, because you have to look somebody in the eye. Like, it's personal. It's not this impersonal thing where, you know, money is loaded up on your card. You never see anybody. Nobody ever checks in on you. And there's no level of accountability. You know, like that actually puts you, and it puts the person that's giving the money too. Like, I would feel a lot better about the money that I'm giving if I knew how it was being spent.
Right.
And I knew who it was going to.
Right.
And I knew, like, oh yeah, like, I know that my taxpayer dollars are supporting, you know, this old lady who can barely walk, you know, and that's making the difference in her life. Like, that would give me peace, you know, but not these entitled people that are, you know, crying because they can't buy an extra bag of Cheetos. It's annoying.
On our dime.
Yeah, on our dime. Don't be, KMD, don't be messing with my blueberry cherry slushy. Touch them and suffer consequences of king son.
You need to put that slushy down, boy. Put the slushy down. And go pick up a quinoa salad or something. They're good too.
Yeah, don't make her go full crunchy on you, bro.
Don't. I will. I will.
Yeah, don't unleash it.
He sent you some pictures of the farm.
Oh, he did? I'm going to have to look.
While you're looking,
Hold on.
I'm going to read the rest of this, though.
Yep.
You're entitled to 4 things. Life, correct, truth, pursuit, and he says this in bold, pursuit of happiness, right, and the gospel. That is so true. So very true. I could not agree with you more. Oh, that's cute. Give me. My gosh, can I just tell you how adorable your pigs are? Oh my gosh, they're like little calicos. Oh my god, they're so little. Oh, these chicks.
Adorable.
Is that a dog? The second one, baby puppies, little puppies? I need to know. It looks like this is a dog. Your pigs are really cute, though. Incredibly cute. Like, I want to hug them and give them cuddles. But I know, yeah. Anyways, it doesn't matter. They're adorable. Thank you for sending us that.
Here's another brother spitting truth. We had puppies.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Let me know if there's any issues with the audio.
This guy's probably a hardworking guy with his muscles who works out.
Embarrassed if my kids were on EBT. If I found out they were on a welfare system, I failed them. I failed them. It's that simple. If I found out they were on EBT, I fucking failed them. It's that simple. If your children are on EBT and they're not blind, crippled, or crazy, you failed them. By the way, my first job at the telephone company, I worked right next to a dude that was blind. This man was blind. He had a dog with him and a cane, the whole 9 yards. But he worked something called TSPS. In other words, you had to type in numbers. So he had a little braille going. So if a blind man could work, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you got to think too about how insulting that is to the disabled people that still want to work and that they still want to work.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Huh?
This reminded me of the story that I read. It's on the Daily Mail.
You want me to just pull it up?
Actually, yes. Look for Russell O'Grady 52. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I think that's his name. Yes, Russell O'Grady. So Russell O'Grady has Down syndrome, and he has worked at McDonald's for 32 years. There it is. Okay.
Inspirational man with Down syndrome who worked at McDonald's for 32 years opens up about life after retirement and the unusual sport that's keeping him busy.
Yep.
So, a man with Down syndrome who became a national inspiration after working for McDonald's for 32 years has lifted the lid on his life post-retirement. Russell O'Grady cleaned tables, packed party boxes,
Aw.
and even tried his hand in the kitchen at North Mead McDonald's in Western Sydney after landing a job at the restaurant as an 18-year-old in 1986. Mr. O'Grady, who became one of the first Australians with Down syndrome to find full-time work, hung up his apron for the final time in 2018. The now 52-year-old on Tuesday caught up with a high-profile supporter of his radio host Ray Hadley to share how he was focusing his attention on 10-pin bowling during his retirement.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's
Look
awesome.
at that. 32 years of hard work. He probably did get paid well.
Much respect.
Yeah, and now guess what? He gets to focus on bowling. But
Yeah.
sorry.
I live in a state that has the highest disability percentage in the U.S. I would suggest that 60% of disabled people are overweight. Yeah.
This is true.
Oh, man, do not get me started on. All right. I got a video. I got a video we're gonna play after this, but let's finish this one. I'll stop screaming here. Huh?
That's okay. I love you.
I don't want to hear it at all. If a blind man, I work right next to this man. In fact, he had ladies, he had girlfriends and shit. So if a blind man can work, you can work. Why don't you just make black people proud too if you're black? Shouldn't you make black people proud? What happened to pride? You know? We're already down. You already feel like the cards are stacked against you. Well, go ahead and fight, man. Fight. Don't lay down and help me, give me stuff, please. I can't do anything for myself. Fuck that shit. You can do whatever you want to do. And if I don't say nothing else to you, you can do whatever you want to do on this earth. Apply yourself. There's nothing stopping you. You can do whatever you want to do on this earth. Black people, listen to me. You can do whatever you want to do. Forget about basketball. Forget about rapping. Forget about singing. That's gifts. Whitney Houston, that's a gift. Michael Jackson, that's a gift. And then they nurtured it. But everybody can't be Nipsey Hussle, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Guys, broaden your horizon, open your mind, and look at all of the other opportunities that you have in America. This is America, man. Make it happen. All this welfare. Okay, you need a little help for a month or two, half a year to get on your feet. I still don't believe it, but whatever. What happens is people get this free money. You think that's gonna make them get up early in the morning and go look for work? Nah, I got a check coming. I can sleep until 10, I'm tired. Nah, when your ass is desperate, you get the fuck up. Desperation makes you go do what you gotta do on this earth. You're not desperate. It's raining outside. I ain't go, it's too hot outside. No, see, that's the problem. Get up, rain, sleet, or snow, and go make something happen for yourself every single day. Don't sleep past 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck are you doing? Get your ass up, you're broke. You're on government assistance. Make it happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think too he said something too, like he would be embarrassed if his children were on welfare. I'd feel the same way too, because that does mean that I failed as a parent. You know, and one thing that I do wanna mention is this, you know, like parents should be providers. All right. We should not be dependent on the government to provide for our children. Now, granted, you know, if there's hard times, you know, use it. But generally we should be providing, especially as men. You know, that is our responsibility, is to take care of our families. That's nobody else's responsibility. We chose to marry the individual we're married with. We chose to have children. Then it stands to reason that we are the people that are responsible for providing for the children. And the Bible says something too, a harsh truth, if you're a man watching this, that the man that doesn't provide for his family is worse than an unbeliever. So as a man, we have a responsibility to take care of our kids, to take care of our family, and to not relegate that responsibility out to third parties like the government. The percentage, I live in the state. Oh wait, the percentage affects how I have to design roadways and bridges to accommodate them. The most live off disability, EBT, and unemployment. Yeah, there's this video that I want to play. Yeah, here it is.
I also just want to mention something too.
Yeah.
Like you said, from the man's perspective, from a woman's perspective, if you read about the Proverbs, it's Proverbs 31, right?
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs 31, yes. Sorry, it's late, so my brain I have all my fresh ideas, and I'm very well spoken in the morning. Once 9 o'clock hits or 8 o'clock hits, my brain just goes sometimes. So you're not getting the best of me. I apologize. But that one cell in there, alive and kicking great for the rest of my body. Anyways, but from a woman's perspective, in Proverbs 31, when you look at the Proverbs 31 woman, she too is very hardworking for her family. You know, she's not a lazy woman. It says something about her burning oil late at night in her lamps or something like that, for her to work late into the evenings and rise up early, you know, and make garments to sell to the markets, you know, things like that. So for women too, you know, to work for your family, that is something we should aspire to if you're not, you know?
Yeah. And then again, for like the widow and the orphan, there's roles, man. This is why the Bible has everything on lock, you know, because the Bible tells the church to care for widows and orphans.
Yeah.
And in modern sense, there's a lot of, you know, I guess widows to a degree, because, you know, there's these single moms that don't have that support system. So then, yeah, this church steps up and supports these moms and helps them, you know, take care of their children. That's what we should be doing. Yeah. Res Truth Pod says, appreciate the both of y'all. Appreciate you too, man.
And those cute photos.
Yes. All right. Last video, and then we'll be wrapping it up. Bay needs to sleep.
You can tell, huh? Like,
she's withering.
I was literally just going to say that.
All right. So this guy, Michael, says, I'm not even kidding you. My Uber driver said I'm too fat for her to drive me. Then she said she was going to pull a gun on me.
What?
No, you're not recording me, right?
I'm going to record you. You just said I'm too large for your car?
This is a matter of logic and rationale, and I have a right to say...
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. It's my car.
This is not your car. I'm not too large for your car. I'm going to fit.
It's my vehicle.
Are you dead ass, you fucking bitch?
Go away.
Fuck you. Are you dead ass? You are insane.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you're a fucking whore.
I feel like that's not enough.
That we're missing context?
Yeah.
Oh, we are 100% missing context.
We're missing a lot of context here.
But
because it could go, honestly, Ryan, this one could go both ways.
But well, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume this guy probably was too overweight.
Can we I don't want to judge him right now.
All right.
I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean.
All right. Let me try to handle this tactfully. Gracefully. All right. Maybe that woman was a little rude. Maybe. I don't know. But she is well within her right to refuse. Yeah, they could both be wrong. And probably there's a little blame to go both directions. But I'm going to assume that this guy is sitting on his chair and breaking it after 2 years. I'm going to assume
that's a problem.
That maybe her concerns were warranted.
That's him?
Yeah, it's the same guy. Maybe her concerns were warranted. And she saw his weight and didn't want like her car to get damaged. Is she wrong for that?
No.
Maybe could she have handled? Well, all right. So you're a woman, right?
You know, like a big guy.
You have this big guy trying to force his way in your car after you say no.
I would, but I would not do that though. I would say, sir, please shut the door. If you do not shut the door, I'm gonna drive away, and you are gonna get hurt, and that is not my problem. That is on you. And I would literally just sometimes you gotta treat people like freaking toddlers. I'm gonna count to 3. You're gonna shut my door. You're gonna shut my door. If you're recording this, good. Because I'm telling you what I'm going to do.
Threatening gunplay that quickly was a bit aggressive. I agree, but maybe she really felt like her life was in danger or something. I don't know. She doesn't know this guy.
I mean, and if he's really that big, like,
yeah,
she could. No. I'm taking it the other way. If he's really that big, she could outrun him. Like, how fast is he gonna go?
Good point.
Come on. You don't need to threaten him. Now, if he's like 6'2" and jacked, and he's too big to fit in the car, maybe then a little aggression. But even then, it's like he wasn't shouting at her. He was angry.
Yeah, you could see who is kinder in this relationship.
I love people. I mean, I love people too. I don't want to sound like you don't. You do. You have sometimes you see the best in people, and I'm like, let them go.
Sometimes these people just need hard truths, though.
They do.
And it's like if you all right, like there is a moment where he has to do some self-reflection. If you are too big to, where you're getting looks, and people are and you're sitting on chairs and you're breaking them. Like, look inward, all right? You have to do something to change your life.
Think of your health.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're going to cut your life short. 2, you're also draining our system, as you had brought up, Truth Pod, about these people being 60% of them being overweight or whatever you said. Yeah. I mean, it's not good overall, not just for you, but actually for society in general. So, and I've seen one too many fat influencers die this year for or this past year for me to, take this subject lightly. And I don't want to sound mean. I really don't. Like, that's not like, I'm not here to,
wave a finger at someone.
Yeah, wag my finger at them. But at the same time, I do think like some people need a wake up call. Like, yes, if you're breaking chairs, it's time for you to lose some weight. It's time for you to take your health seriously.
You know what that reminded me of? If you guys ever seen Shallow Hal?
Yeah.
How Gwyneth Paltrow, she sits in the chair and then the chair breaks. She's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And he's like, what are these things made of? And the guy's like, steel?
Yeah, I remember that.
Hey, Res Truth Pod, by the way, if you ever want to come on the show one day, hit me up, man. I'm trying to get guests to come on Fridays to share their testimony. So if you have a testimony, bro, open invite. So I think that's going to do it for us today, though. I appreciate all of you guys tuning in. If you like this stream, repost and share it. I'd appreciate that a lot. Like it, all that fun stuff. And if you have any prayer requests, feel free to send them my way, and we will pray for you guys. But until tomorrow, I hope you guys have a very blessed night. Actually, let's raid somebody out real quick
he says, I'm always down to talk about Jesus. That sounds good.
Let's do it, bro. We'll get something set up.
Your logo.
My logo? Oh, my...
If you give a mouse EBT card.
Yeah, I thought that was clever.
Did you take that from our child's book?
No, I just found a photo online.
If you give a mouse a cookie. Our oldest daughter likes that book. She thinks it's really cute. Who are we reading?
Pete Santelli Show. Might just do Leo Inverted World. These are all. Oh, I like Vaping Gamers. He's cool. I'm gonna do Vaping.
Who is that?
He's a Christian.
Blessed be your name.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we'll rate him out. I'm gonna show Wifey how to do a raid too.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
So we gotta go to. It's a little convoluted.
I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I'm not
retaining anything right now.
All right, you just gotta enter this long, complicated command. Hit enter, and then confirm raid. Boom.
Raim.
So we are.
You see,
raiding.
I called it a raim. That's how tired I am. We're raiming people.
Raim incoming.
Too tired. God. Been up since like 6:45 this morning.
And now we join. Boom.
Yay! Let's rame.
Man, you guys are spoiling me.
Now we show him some love.
Thank you guys so much for the raids. I appreciate that.
Rame love.
Oh, did he get double
How did your
rated?
stream go, bro?
Oh.
We had Cassian through a
There
fat
you
raid.
go.
We had RCAM throwing a fat raid. We had Cams throwing a fat raid. Man, we had so many freaking great people.
Aw. You too, Pharaoh. God bless you.
Hey, God bless you, Pharaoh. Have a good night, man. God bless y'all on TikTok. I forgot we were still live on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Deuces.
God bless you guys. And not in the sneezing way.